This has to be one of the biggest and most unexpected leak sessions for Call of Duty, as out of nowhere, yesterday the data miner Reality over on Twitter started posting a bunch of information not just for the upcoming Modern Warfare 2, but also for Treyarch's next Call of Duty game slated for 2024, since it got delayed from 2023. For some weird reason, in the Warzone mobile files are a bunch of the weapons as well as the maps for both Modern Warfare 2 and Treyarch's next game. And I think the reason for this is because Call of Duty is just going to be using one unified engine moving forward, which is an adapted and improved upon version of the Modern Warfare 2019 engine. And I'm guessing Warzone Mobile is probably using some sort of adapted version of that engine too. And one of the things that got data mined was something called a COD HQ, as recently it was leaked that there's apparently going to be this new hub for Call of Duty, which is going to be somewhat similar to Netflix, where you can essentially select any of the games from that hub, as it is rumored that there's going to be some sort of COD subscription service coming soon, probably with Modern Warfare 2. Because of that, I'm guessing all the Call of Duties moving forward are just going to be part of some unified engine, and there's probably going to be data mined stuff for all games from just one of the games because it's all using the same engine. I don't really understand why Warzone Mobile has maps for the upcoming releases, though it makes sense in terms of the weapons, because obviously Warzone Mobile is probably going to have a bunch of weapons from Modern Warfare 2 and COD 2024. The other stuff doesn't make as much sense to me though. I don't really understand why maps would be in there though. It was probably just some sort of mistake, as the APK file for Warzone Mobile, which is currently in alpha, did leak. This isn't a public release of Warzone Mobile. We still don't even know when Warzone Mobile is going to release. It's probably going to be sometime before the end of the year though, around the time of when Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2 eventually drops. I'm sure Treyarch are very upset about these leaks because their game literally doesn't release for ages now, 2+ years, and loads of information is already being leaked about it before Modern Warfare 2 is even out. And not only that, the leaks are literally coming from Warzone Mobile. Activision are a multi-billion-dollar company, and for some reason their security in terms of leaks is just so poor. People are saying this was done intentionally, but I really don't think so, honestly. I just think it was a genuine mistake that all this stuff was left in the Warzone Mobile files, and they didn't think that the Warzone Mobile APK would leak. Treyarch are definitely so annoyed about this, and there's probably a lot of drama going on behind the scenes with the studios and Activision really annoyed about these leaks. They don't want anything getting out, especially this early, and if all of this stuff is already getting leaked about Treyarch's next COD this early, just think about how many leaks we're going to have once Modern Warfare 2 is out, how many leaks they're going to be pouring out once Warzone Mobile is out for everyone. There's probably going to be a bunch of stuff data mined for Modern Warfare 2 and Treyarch's next game in there again. So I'm going to go over all of the information that we have learned, but I think the most interesting bit of information is regarding Call of Duty 2024, Treyarch's next Black Ops title, because so far we've been expecting the next Black Ops game to be set in the near future. It's rumored that it might be set around the era of Black Ops 2, and there is a lot of evidence with this. Obviously, with Rebirth reinforced in Warzone, we have learned that Perseus are still active in 2022, so it does make sense to see a game set somewhere around current day, as Black Ops 2 obviously takes place in 2025, which is only a few years out now from real time, and Modern Warfare 2 is taking place in 2022/2023, so it does make sense for Treyarch's next game to take place very close to it. But from these recent leaks, it's looking like maybe Treyarch's next game is at least going to be partially set within the 90s. Now, this is just speculation, this is not confirmed. Obviously, the prior leaks and rumors were saying it was going to be set around Black Ops 2's era. Leakers such as Tom Henderson have been saying that, and that's why I always say, like with all leaks and rumors, we need to take it with a massive grain of salt, as nothing is confirmed until it's publicized by Activision and or Call of Duty or the studios. But with Forsaken's ending cutscene, we know that the zombie storyline is going to be taking place 5 years after the events of Black Ops Cold War Zombies, which ended in 1985. So Zombies is probably going to be taking place in the 90s, so maybe they're going to want to have the campaign taking place in around the same era as Zombies, like they did with Black Ops Cold War. Both the campaign and Zombies are taking place in the Cold War. But within one of the multiplayer map images that was leaked for COD 2024, there is actually an F-117 Nighthawk plane, which was first in flight in 1981 and retired in 2008. And a huge thank you to Magua for posting this information on Twitter. So what this means is that there's a good chance part of the campaign will actually be taking place in the 90s, especially if Zombies is taking place then too. And there's 3 major events around the 90s that could be used in the campaign, which are the invasion of Panama in 1989, the Gulf War in 1991, the bombing of Yugoslavia, which was 1999, and also from one of the maps that leaked, it looks to be taking place in a desert, so it could potentially be Panama, but the Gulf War is more named for its desert aspect, with it being codenamed Desert Shield and Desert Storm. So a lot of people are thinking right now maybe the main focus of Treyarch's next game is going to be taking place around the Gulf War. Maybe it's called something like Black Ops Gulf War, like Black Ops Cold War was called that. There is also the potential that the game could simply jump between time zones, so part of the campaign could be taking place in the future, part of it in the past. Magwa's got a wild theory that maybe in the past an unknown terrorist organization is attacking America, whilst in the near future Perseus is attacking several locations. Like I said earlier, Perseus is still around in the near future / present day. So yeah, I do wonder what the setting of the next Black Ops game is going to be. I'm really excited, and honestly it's so surprising that all of these leaks have came out. It is really shocking. No one could have expected this, especially from Call of Duty Mobile. And I'll go over all of the maps, weapons, operators and more for Modern Warfare 2 and COD 2024 that I've leaked in a second, but first of all, I just have a quick message. This video has been kindly sponsored by House Party that's just launched globally. This hysterical story-rich 3D adventure game is all about player choice and partying the way you want. The unique AI and scripting system allows the game to shape and mold its content around your choices. You'll see something new or different each time you play. Today there are hundreds of different stories, side quests and narratives, and thousands of branching stories and dynamic elements. Content is being added regularly, so it just keeps getting bigger and better. Each new game starts at the door as a blank canvas for your decisions. Your buddy Derek invited you to the Rager at Madison's house. Surrounded by a group of eccentric partygoers, you must navigate your way through the night, no matter how wild it gets. Step into a sandbox adventure party game where even your simplest choices can impact the game in a magnificent way. Explore thousands of unique branching narratives with 15 distinct NPCs that react based on your every remark and action, paving the way for tons of hours of unpredictable and hilarious entertainment. The gameplay starts with the conversations and grows with the decisions made along the way. With no true ending but dozens of stories to navigate, the night is what you make of it. Explore a 2-story house jam-packed with hundreds of items to discover, where every object has a purpose and can be used in a variety of ways. Change the party's music with the MP3 player, invite a surprise guest over with the laptop, enjoy as many drinks as you can without getting caught, and much more. Show items to NPCs and they may react with varying dialogue or relationship fluctuations. Most of these hidden objects are vital for completing an NPC's personal storyline and winning their approval. Listen closely and characters will chat about your actions, conversations and choices, and also provide hints and insights into cracking their stories open. Throughout the night you may overhear information about their backstories or catch them gossiping about other guests at the party. Every NPC has favourite bands, personal beliefs, friends and enemies, and party goals for the night. As you navigate the party, your words and actions will dictate whether each NPC digs your vibe or is seconds away from knocking your lights out. One bad decision might get you beaten to a pulp, whilst a good choice might result in making an ally that will have your back for the rest of the night. Every response you choose when speaking to an NPC changes how they feel about you. Keep an eye on your social gauges and watch the gameplay be impacted by them. If someone feels a certain way about you or hates your guts, relationship values, good or bad, may open new doors. You can even interact with celebrity guests. Ever heard of the Game Grumps? Make the right choices and you may find Dan and Aaron landing unexpectedly in the middle of the house party. What's more, this fall Doja Cat joins the cast in an expansive all-new optional DLC story. The developers are excited to welcome the AMA winning and Grammy nominated music star into the game and can't wait for Doja Cat's character to ramp up the party even more. Keep an eye out because there may be more exciting guests on the way, so don't miss out and check it out via the link in the description. First of all, for the Modern Warfare 2 weapons, these were all just codenames. Of course, we saw a bunch of them in the trailer that was already revealed and the short bit of campaign gameplay. And some of these are just codenames, so they won't actually be the weapon names. Some of them could also change due to copyright reasons to unofficial names. For the assault rifles, we have the Kilo 53, the Kilo 74, the Kilo 105, the M Charlie, the MC Bravo, the M4, the S Charlie, the Skottel, the F Alpha, the Fecho, the AUG, and the STG A3. For the sniper/marksman rifles, we have the LMS, the SA700, the AX50. For the SMGs, we have the Latchman Sub, the Alpha 57, the Beta, the Victor, the A-Victor, the PSDW50, the MPA Pax, the Sakin 9, and the LMP. I do also want to state, these aren't all of the weapons. I believe there is going to be more. These are just the ones found in the files. For the shotguns, we have the Bryson 800, the Mike 1014, the MK Victor, the Lockwood 725. For For LMGs, we have the RAL returning, the A Hotel, the Foxtrot, the Bruin, the MK9, the N-Golf 7, the R Kilo, the M Kilo 3, the Kilo 21. For the pistols, we have the X12, the Revive pistol, the .50 GS, the Papa 220, and the C Whiskey. And for the launchers, we have the Mike 203, the RPG 7, the Peeler, the Joker, and the Strela P. It is possible that some of these will end up not being in the final build, or some could be held back for post-launch content too. For multiplayer, swimming is present in some of the multiplayer maps. And for the multiplayer maps, these actually look really interesting because all of the maps seem to have a bunch of color. I won't be able to show the actual images in this video, they will just be blurred due to obvious copyright reasons, but they have a lot of bright neon lights and are very vibrant, which is unlike Infinity War tiles of the past. Modern Warfare 2019 was mostly just browns, yellows, and greys in its color scheme, but it seems like they're going for a more vibrant color scheme with this game, which is more akin to Treyarch games, which I'm really happy about. The first map we have is Grand Prix, which is obviously just a racetrack, and it's very vibrant and neon, and apparently this map will have a day and night mode too. We then have Oil Fields, just taking place in an oil rig location. We also have Museum, which is again very vibrant and colourful. We have a map codenamed Saber, which kind of reminds me of this gunfight map from Black Ops Cold War, and there is a statue in the centre of someone riding a horse and whipping it. It is quite similar in aesthetic to Dust 2 from CSGO, and apparently Saber is the codename for Warzone 2's map as well, so it's possible this could just be a small section from that map or just set in the same geological location, which apparently is going to be like a desert map. Maybe it could be in the Middle East. We then have Hydro, which is going to be a ground war map, so it's very big and there's a big river running through it and a bunch of palm trees and rocky locations, and you can see some buildings in the distance. We then have Fishtown, which is going to be another ground war map. This seems to be taking place on a beach. There's a washed up tiny rowboat, some palm trees once again, and there does look to be a small lighthouse or lookout tower in the middle too. It looks like a very open map though. We then have Syrah, another ground war map. This one's more industrial since it has some roads, but it does look like it's in a rural location, but this part's just a bit more industrialized. There's a big building with a sunroof, and once again there's a bunch of palm trees around. I don't know why so many of these maps have palm trees on. We then have a map called Swap Meet. I'm not sure if this is just a code name, since that's a very weird name. It looks to be set in Mexico though. It's similar in aesthetic to Slums from Black Ops 2. I will provide a link to a Reddit post that summarizes all of this down in this video's description from Magua, by the way, since I won't be able to show any of the images itself. Next we have Farm 18, which to me looks quite similar to Pipeline from the original Modern Warfare, obviously taking place on a farm. We then have some perks that have leaked, which are Amped, Engineer, Restock, Ghost, High Alert, Overkill, Battle Hardened, Kill Chain, Scavenger, Shrapnel, Cold-Blooded, Pitcher, Extra Tactical, Focus, Hustle Up, and Tune Up. On screen right now you can see all of the codenames for the maps found in the files. Some of these are left over, by the way, so they're not actually going to be some of the maps. I've already gone over this in a prior video though, but this is just a summary since there are only images for some of the maps that have been data mined today. Not all of them have. It's possible some of these maps could be DLC maps too, or scrapped. For killstreaks we have Circle Peak. This sounds like it could be a Warzone exclusive perk even, to kind of get a peek out of the circle in the gas. We have Counter UAV and Cluster Strike. For field upgrades we have Armor Box, Support Box, Sonar Pulse, Tactical Cam, Deploy Cover, Stopping Power, and Dead Silence, which could also be a perk. For tacticals we have the Flare, Shock Stick, Trophy, and Decoy Grenade. For lethals we have the AT Mine, the Molotov, the Claymore, and the Soscar Knife. We also have some leaks for DMZ, which is going to be a Escape from Tarkov styled mode. Apparently it's going to be played on sections of the Warzone 2 map. It's rumored that it could release free to play in Q1 of 2023. The map locations I've leaked are Fortress, Hydro, Quarry, Resort, Trapper. There's some other references to a gas station, a UAV tower, a train, and a SAM site. Quarry references Control, Office, and Storage. Hydro references Apps, Storage, and Weapon Drop. There are challenges / missions that I've leaked for DMZ 2 that I'm just going to have a screenshot of on screen. I'm not going to go through all of these, so just pause the video if you want to read them for yourself. It's been leaked that Warzone 2 is apparently having integrations being added in a similar vein to Rainbow Six Siege. We now have some images of the operators leaked for Modern Warfare 2. Again, I won't be able to show the images. We have Gunner, which looks to be an old man. He has grey hair with some headphones on. We then have a Fender, which is wearing some very armored gear with some goggles. And this character mask was actually displayed on Infinity Ward's TikTok before. They've been showing off various art designs and stuff like that over there. We then have Chili, which is wearing some night vision goggles. goggles and a microphone. We have Hutched with some glasses on once again and some headphones. We have Kilgore, which was a scrapped operator from Modern Warfare 2019, but they've completely redone his design, which looks very cool and creepy. You can't see his face at all. You can only see these little black eye holes with the rest covered up. We have Stiletto, which looks somewhat similar to Alex Zedra. And finally, we have a woman called Callisto, which looks to be very old, and she has very short hair and very dark mascara on around her eyes. These aren't all the operators though, these are just the only ones that have been data mined with images. Reality has found a bunch of milsim operators in the files, so Shadow Company and the SAS are going to be the two factions. So we have 5 different Shadow Company operators leaked, and I believe we have a load for the SAS as well. Unfortunately blurred due to copyright reasons, but the SAS operators are pretty generic and basic. The Shadow Company ones look pretty cool though. Now in terms of Treyarch's next game, which we don't know what's going to be titled, as I said, it could be in the 90s, near future, or both. We don't know what it's going to be called though, whether it's Black Ops 6, Black Ops Gulf War, we'll have to wait and see. Probably not Black Ops 6 though. The weapons that have leaked for assault rifles, we have the Koslo 723, the Aking 74, potentially this could be a codename for the AK-74, the Clove, the CCLA, and the Pabor 3. For the LMGs, we have the K-Suga 58. For shotguns, we have the Moslo 500. For SMGs, we have the M-Paris 5, which could be a codename for the MP5. We have the S-Roga 3. For snipers, we have the S-Roga 25, the U-Tiger, and the Heatchuck. For pistols, we have the Steiger. Again, these are just codenames, these are not the actual weapon names, and some could be leftover, scrapped, etc. Now for the big thing, the 2 multiplayer maps. So we have a Stealth, and this is the map that I was talking about earlier that features this plane and seems to be set in a desert region. There's an American flag and there's a bunch of explosions going off. This seems to just be concept art for the map though. It's not an in-game image. We then have Pillage, which does feature a character in the middle running with a gun that appears to have a ghost mask. I'm not sure if that's somehow tying into Modern Warfare 2 and Simon Ghost Riley. We know there's a whole group of them wearing these masks. I'm not sure exactly where it's set, but it looks to be in a building that's run down, potentially in Iran or somewhere. This map does look similar to Anaya Palace from Modern Warfare 2019. We have a few perks leaked for Treyarch's next COD 2. Of course, the game's really far away now, so these could definitely be changed by release. But we have Anti-Up bonus, Tactician Objective bonus, and Tactician Sabotage bonus. Anyways, that's everything I wanted to go over in today's video. Thank you for watching the video, and make sure to subscribe if you're not here for latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.